Hi, it's Dr. JP, and when I was a little kid, I remember reading Miss Nelson is Missing. We used to always talk about this if we had a substitute coming into a class. The regular teacher was out. So this is an old classic about that, and hope you stay tuned here and listen to the story. This is by Harry Allard and James Marshall. Miss Nelson is Missing. Miss Nelson is Missing. It started out, the kids in room 207 were misbehaving again. Spitballs stuck to the ceiling and paper planes whizzed through the air. This was the worst behaved class in the whole school. Look at the kids wearing a garbage can on his head. This was just despicable. Now settle down, Miss Nelson said in a sweet voice. But the class did not settle down. They just kept throwing stuff and paper airplanes. And they kept whispering and giggling. And they kept squirming and making faces. And they were even rude during story hour when Miss Nelson would try to read stories. They would do things like sit on their heads in front of her. And they always refused to do their school lessons. And they would draw pictures like Miss Nelson. Oh my gosh. Something must be done, said Miss Nelson. Something has to be done. And you know what? The next morning, Miss Nelson did not come to school. Wow, said the kids. Now we're gonna really act up. Yeah. And they started making more spitballs and more paper planes. Today we're gonna just be terrible. There it's gonna be. Not so fast. Who was that? And then a woman in an ugly black dress stood before them. I am your new teacher, Miss Viola Swamp. And she took a ruler and rapped her desk with it. Well, where's Miss Nelson? Asked the kids. Never mind that, said Miss Swamp. Open up those math books right now. And the kids did as they were told. And they could see that Miss Viola Swamp was a real witch. She meant business. Did I say no talking? She put them to work right away. And she loaded them down with homework so much that they had hundreds of pages a night to do. We will have no story hour today, said Miss Swamp. You keep your mouth shut. You sit perfectly still in here. If you misbehave, you will be sorry, she said. And the class had never worked so hard or been so afraid. Days went by, and there was no sign of Miss Nelson. And the kids missed Miss Nelson. They really missed her. Maybe we should try to find her, they said. So some of them went to the police. And Detective Mick Smog, was assigned to the case. And he listened to their story. And he scratched his chin and he said, I think Miss Nelson is missing. Detective McSmog would not be much help. And other kids, well, they went to Miss Nelson's house. And when they went there, the shades were drawn tightly and no one answered the door when they rang the door. In fact, the only person they did see was the wicked Miss Viola Swamp coming up the street. Oh my gosh! She sees us, she's going to give us more homework, and who knows what she's going to do. Let's get out of here. And they would get away just in time before Viola Swamp saw them. I think something terrible happened to Miss Nelson, said the kids. Maybe she got gobbled up by a shark. Yeah, maybe she got gobbled by a shark. But that didn't seem likely. Yeah, maybe Miss Nelson just went to Mars, said another kid. Yeah, she went to Mars. She's on Mars right now. No, that didn't seem likely either. I know, said the know-it-all. Maybe Miss Nelson's car was carried away by a swarm of angry butterflies. But that was the least likely of all. That didn't happen. Well, the kids in room 207 became very discouraged. It seemed Miss Nelson was never coming back, and they were going to be stuck with Viola Swamp forever. And they heard footsteps in the hall. Oh no, here she comes again. Here comes the witch, they whispered. But then the door opened. Hello, children, someone said in a sweet voice. It was Miss Nelson. Did you miss me? She asked. Oh yeah, we certainly did, cried all the kids. Where were you? Well, that's my little secret. I'm not going to tell you. How about a story hour? Oh, yeah. We haven't had story time in so long. Yes, please. Miss Nelson noticed that during story hour, no one was rude or silly. Now, what brought about this lovely change in the class? She asked. That's our little secret, said the kids. Yeah, we really don't want to tell that. But you'll stay with us, right? Okay, said Miss Nelson. But back home, Miss Nelson, she took off her coat and hung it in the closet, right next to an ugly black dress. When it was time for bed, she sang a little song. I'll never tell, I'll never tell, I'll never tell, she whispered to herself with a smile. P.S. Detective McSmog is working on a new case now at the police station. He is now looking for what happened to Miss Viola Swamp. Have you seen her lately? Where is she?